All right, guys, it's don't know the date, November 1st, Team Call Tuesday. Thank you all for joining us. Really excited to share with all of you some Instagram best practices. I know that a lot of times we talk about Facebook, and it's the place we all kind of feel really comfortable, and that's great. But I noticed, in myself and a lot of other coaches that we're starting to dabble in Instagram as best we can. And the truth is that every social media platform is so completely different, and we need to treat it that way. So it's not as simple as posting something on Instagram and pushing it through to Facebook, or posting something on Facebook and copying and pasting it to Instagram. You just won't get the same reach because there's two totally different audiences on Facebook and on Instagram. So, my hope for you in this presentation is that you'll be able to take away some best practices to help you rock Instagram. This all spawned, this idea for this call kind of came about because I was noticing that Lauren Walzak, a coach on my team, was rocking Instagram. Like, this girl put out a post about Quarter Force and she had like 150 likes. And I was like, what are you doing? Because I need to be doing it too. So she came to my house and she shared some stuff with us. And so together we kind of put together these tips that we want to share with you. So I'm going to share my screen. This is not a fun fun looking presentation by any means, but it's something that we're going to post in the team pages. And not only, will you be able to look at it after the call, but you can also share this with anybody, any of your coaches or anyone that you feel could benefit from some, having this in their arsenal. Okay, so I like seeing people. Is it cool if I keep it like this size, or is it going to be tough to? Okay, so let's just go through it this way. So let's start with your picture and bio. So first of all, your username for your Instagram account should be searchable, really easy to remember. It's actually better if you don't put numbers and stuff in it, because people aren't going to remember numbers if you share your handle with someone. Just make it super simple for them to remember and to search for later. Also, actually, I am going to have to X you guys out. Think about how your target audience would identify with you, and in your bio, in those little, the kind of space you have within your bio, make sure you're using those words. So for example, I'm really into yoga and self-love and all that sort of thing. So I make sure that I have those keywords in my bio to use. Fitness, whatever you're into, whatever your passions are, make sure that whomever you're trying to reach, that you're leveraging that space within your bio to kind of capture their attention. Also, make sure to include a link to whether it's your website, or if you for me, I have a link to my life page set up in there. And if it's too long, you can use a URL shortener. And guys, this link, really take advantage of this, because in Instagram right now, when we post in comments and whatnot, you can't actually put a link for people to click through to. So this is a place where you can do that right in your bio. And I've used this before as well. If, for example, I know people do it to their website application, do a challenge group, or I've run, an event before, and I'll put the link to the event, a free event or whatever, right in your bio. So you can be creative with it, and it's just a way to let people know in your post, hey, click the link in the bio to get connected to blah, blah, blah. I'm going to go more into this next post a little, this next line item a little bit later. But if you look in the bios, if you're ever wondering how to create a vertical list, rather than just word, kind of having spaces in between your phrases, I'm going to share with you guys later how to be able to do that. And also convert yourself to a business profile. I have to dig into a little bit more of the benefits of this, but I know in this way I'm assuming you're going to be able to eventually sponsor ads and whatnot on Instagram. And in order to do that, you want a business profile. This will also make it public, and it is really important to expand your network to make sure that you do have a business profile. And you can do that right in your, editing your profile section of Instagram. And feel free, guys, at any time to, because I can't see you right now, just share in the chat section if you have any questions as I'm going through. What to post and how often. So this is important to stay consistent with your brand. I've recently started sharing, hold on, let's see, there's a question. Yes, Meg, I believe you're right that it says that, try Instagram business tools. But I think it's also just right in your profile where it like says switch your profile to a business profile. I think it's a pretty simple little like click of the button, but they might have changed it because they really just started rolling out this business profile thing pretty recently.
Yeah, I know that when I tried to, like recently, whenever I go on my Instagram, that option would pop up and I went to just see if it was there and it's not there anymore, but there is that option. It says try Instagram business tools. So
that makes sense then. Thank you. So what to post and how often? This is an important one because I think a lot of us might have started using Instagram before we, started running a business. And we use it kind of like, our personal little like picture album type of, thing. And the truth is that that's not going to help our business anymore. So, you could probably notice when I became a Beachbody coach because I was posting like all kids pictures. And then, slowly but surely, the posts that aren't just my kid, the posts that are just my kids don't do well on Instagram. On Facebook, I get like a gazillion likes. On Instagram, not so much unless it's related to, health and wellness. If it's them doing their cute little stuff while I'm working out or, that sort of thing, that gets great traction. But if it's just like a picture of them, not so much unless there's sort of like an underlying quote to it or something like that. So really like keep your images really consistent with your brand. Also great images and videos with really good visual appearance is important. It's honestly, photo quality becomes more important than it is on Facebook. And, I'm going to go into this a little bit later too, but photo quality is even more important than the amount of times that you post. I know we talk on Facebook to post like at least 3 to 4 times a day. That's not necessarily the case on Instagram. The thing that's important on Instagram is you're better off having one really good, high quality photo post. And that doesn't mean you need to be a professional photographer. I just mean take the time to, have really good lighting and that sort of thing and really like think that part over, filter it really well, whatever you want to do. And that's what's most important on Instagram. And as far as timing, again, this depends on your target audience and it's something you can test out and kind of become more aware of. But I did read in an article that the best times to post on Instagram are Monday through Thursday, except for between 3 and 4 p.m. But again, it's all about kind of like testing this out for your target audience. And I am going to pass it over to Lauren to talk about how to hashtag. And actually, okay. Let me make her the host first. Let me get out of here. See if I can.
Can everybody hear me okay?
Okay. Okay.
Okay. How to hashtag. So hashtagging, I think, sort of started out as something like funny, like hashtag can't stop flailing my arms, or hashtag my feet are so big, or whatever silly hashtag you can think of. But hashtagging on Instagram is definitely more of a keyword search. It's how you search on Instagram. So if you go to search on Instagram, you'll see you can search by people, tags, places. So hashtagging it's very strategical. So how to hashtag? You can hashtag a maximum of 30 hashtags per post. So that's between your caption for your picture and any comments that you do on the picture. So say in my caption, I'm saying hashtag happy Halloween from my hashtag elephant. That's 2 hashtags. So then I can only do 28 more in my comment. You do not want to list hashtags in your caption. This is, if you're doing research on Instagram, and that's how I learned all about this. I'm almost 28. I'm not like in college and obsessed with Instagram. But if you list hashtags in your caption, it's considered hashtag spamming. So you do not want to do that. People who are savvy on Instagram will know your hashtag spamming, and it just doesn't look good. So that's why you want to list your searchable hashtags as a comment. So right after you post your picture and hashtag any keywords in your caption, you're going to have a list that you've created of hashtags. So I have Google Docs, and I have a list of hashtags that I just copy and paste essentially on every picture I post on Instagram. And what I should do is have a list for each category I post about. So I have my list. It has about 25 hashtags. That leaves me 5 hashtags for my caption. If you go over in your hashtags in your comment, you will get an error message. You've probably seen the red dot with the exclamation point. You'll get the error message and it won't let you post your comment. So you have to go back, weed through your hashtags, figure out which ones are more important, which ones you don't want, and make sure you only have 30. So then this I got from Chalene Johnson. The layout of your hashtag list in your first comment should start with a few lines that are a period or dashes. So your hashtags, like in the image, start a few lines down. What this does is it creates the, Lauren Little Biggs commented with the ... in the parentheses so that your hashtag spamming is hidden, because it makes your comment very long. And so it's just shown as a ... and you actually have to click on that to see the full text of the comment. That's from Chalene Johnson. I noticed Lindsay did this in the beginning, at least when she was coaching. She's gotten better again. But it's like critical. I mean, you can read about hashtag spamming, and people who are Instagram savvy, who have tens of thousands of followers, are really good about not hashtag spamming. So, can we go to the next slide?
Yep. Sorry.
What to hashtag? So, Lindsay, your pictures of your kids that don't get so much attention on Instagram. Maybe you should go to Scary Mommy or one of those pages and see what are some big hashtags there. And no, it's not really fitness related, but it will get moms looking at your page. That's an idea. So we talked about—
this is why I love Lauren. She's she's my social media coach.
Well, I love Scary Mommy, and I steal from them too.
It's a good idea.
So we talked about the 30 hashtags per photo. You always want to max out. If you have 29, you're missing out on one hashtag that somebody maybe searches every single day, and it's critical. You have to have 30. And I'm guilty of not doing it, but there are some hashtags, if you search, you can see how many posts a certain hashtag has. So before and after has millions of posts. That's a huge one. I mean, I think I search that every day just to get inspired. Anyway, and I already said, separate your hashtag list per topic. So for me, I would definitely call myself a hobby coach, borderline just discount coach. But I post about fitness and food and my family and holidays and the past. And so I should have a list for each category that I post about. And if you search on Google for, say, most popular mom hashtags, most popular gym goer hashtags, most popular fast food hashtags, you can find, so if you post that image we've all seen of Shakeology versus Starbucks versus a Big Mac, if you hashtag Big Mac, hashtag McDonald's, they're gonna see that. You never know what that could turn into. So you have to think outside the box, because if you continuously hashtag things like FitFam or FitMom, then you're gonna get people who are already inspired and already motivated. So it's definitely very strategic, but anybody can do it. And you can change it. You have your list of hashtags, but you don't need to, you're not married to that. You can change your list, you can grow with it. There might be a new hashtag that becomes popular, like this Team Beachbody, Team Spirit. That's a new thing. So it takes some thought, but we can all do it. Next slide, please.
Yeah, I just want to add to that, Lauren, to your point. I think what this all kind of shows us too is that we can really prepare ourselves. Like, it's predictable. Like, Instagram's pretty predictable. Unlike Facebook, where it's kind of like, you know, the journal story of our life, this like news feed kind of thing. Like, Instagram can be different. We can really get ourselves together just by taking an hour to prepare, to figure out what you're posting about and what these hashtags you want to test out are on each of these categories. Like, I just broke out here, you know, these are what I've been using lately for like my yoga hashtags, and then like my fitness general hashtags. And then I have one for food too. It's like a little bit of time to prepare with Instagram is going to take you a really long way. And I don't know if I said this, but the reason I do all of this in my notes app, I know Lauren said it's Google Docs. She uses Google Docs. I use my note app. I use my note app on my phone.
Photo tagging. I bet you never thought how instrumental this could be in your posts. So I'm pretty sure that this had a lot to do with my Core de Force post that got a lot of attention. Because if you go to somebody's Instagram profile, the fourth tab is pictures that they're tagged in. So you need to tag products or people relevant to the post. So for my Core de Force post, I tagged Jericho, I tagged Joel, I tagged Beachbody, Shakeology, Carl Deichler, like I tagged everything. And it's not really, there's no such thing as tag spamming, I don't think, not that I've come up in my research. But when you do that, it shows up on Carl Deichler's profile and something he's been tagged in. It shows up in Joel's profile and something he's been tagged in. So think about this too. I did some research. If we were to make a post about 21 Day Fix, what are the things we could tag? We could tag Autumn, Carl Deichler, Beachbody, 21 Day Fix has a page, Shakeology, tag 21 Day Fix Extreme, why not? Same idea. Beachbody Challenge. And then there's another page, 21 Day Fix Motivation. No, it's not a Beachbody run page, but it's a page where people doing the 21 Day Fix go to get motivation. So you're going to show up on that page that gets a lot of traffic in something that they've been tagged in. And you know, the page itself is going to know that you tagged them and they could repost your picture. That could be huge. So there's no limit for tagging that I know of. I'd have to find out though. I've tag spammed quite a lot of stuff on pictures, but I can find out.
Do people have to actually like approve it for actually it to show up in their?
If they're private.
If they're private.
Yeah.
Okay. Just curious.
Yeah, but the big people who have like, 13.9 thousand followers, they usually don't have the time to go through that, and their profile is public, and it's not usually something that they're going to like. They could maybe untag themselves. I don't know.
Who's tagging me?
The other thing is, this might sound so crazy, this last bullet point, tag things in the background. Like, I don't care what it is. I bought a new bedspread from Bed Bath & Beyond. You bet your ass I tagged Bed Bath & Beyond, because then there's just some mom shopping, going on their Instagram, and she comes across my picture. And okay, yeah, there's a girl flexing in front, but there's a Bed Bath & Beyond thing in the back. So it's not like I faked it out.
I think this is genius too, because like I did a photo tag. In fact, I don't even think I did a photo tag. Yeah, no, I did. I tagged Stonyfields in the picture of the twins on their birthday, because they were having like Stonyfield yogurt, and like Stonyfield responded to my post. And I was thinking about it, if we do what Lauren's, recommending here, who knows if like we could get reposted by one of these big brands, And if that were to happen, how many people would then track back to our profiles and start following or whatever? You know what I mean? So I think that last one there has like huge potential.
Exactly. And also think about how many people don't think about doing this. Like, so I mean, there are people who love social media who know all of the stuff we're talking about, but I mean, the people who are tagging their bed sheets, it's probably, few and far between. So you have an up right there just by being different. Yeah, I think that's good for me. You can go to yours.
Thank you, Lauren. I love that one because it's really one I hadn't thought of till you brought that up. So getting followers, this is obviously an important one too, and I should have put this on here too. I'll add it before I send it out. But it's important for us, a good goal to shoot for, and this is for your business pages too, is to get to 1,000 followers and to not think too much about who those followers are, like not being too concerned, like how many of them are fellow Beachbody coaches or whatnot. Like once you hit 1,000 followers, your profile looks more relevant and more people are apt to kind of stick around and follow you because they're like, ooh, 1,000 followers, this person's legit. Sorry, let me make sure. Okay, just want to make sure there were any other questions there. So one way to get followers, you know what, guys? Everybody and their mother can go down the line and just like pictures. But how often do you leave relevant comments on some of the pages that you're following? If you see a motivational image, use some of these hashtags that you're using to get motivation to check out other people who inspire you and let them know that your post is inspiring. And maybe not just write love or this is cool or, yes, maybe really put in a thoughtful comment there that someone's going to stop. Because I know about you, I get lots of likes on photos, but not always comments. And when I do get a comment, I pay attention to it and I'm like, yes. And then I respond back. And that's another thing too. If someone also leave relevant comments on other people's posts, and also if someone leaves a comment on your post, then make sure you're responding back to them, because then they're going to be reminded, oh yeah, I left a comment there and they got back to me, I want to follow that person. So really keeping thinking of that in terms of commenting on to other people. Also, all of that, using hashtags appropriately is really important because that's where you're going to start attracting your tribe. And then lastly, there are apps. There's one called Instagrass. That one's $9.99 a month, I believe. There's also free apps. And maybe Lauren can kind of chime in because she was telling me that with these Get Followers and Follow Me apps, that she's not even really actively doing anything. Just by being on these apps, she said that she's gotten some followers from it. Is that right, Lauren?
Yep. So how these apps work, I honestly couldn't even really tell you exactly how they work. It's a coin-based system. You could buy coins or you earn coins based on liking other Instagram profiles. So I don't go on the app to follow other people, but I have my Instagram connected to the app. So if somebody wants to earn coins, they're going to like other people's profile. In the first 3 days of using the app, I got 30 likes of people that definitely weren't just coming upon my profile. Now, maybe I need to be active on the site, on the apps once or twice a week just to keep my profile, in the headlines of the app, because while my followers are still growing, the first week was craziness. So you don't even really need to do anything with them. Just connect to your profile and watch your followers grow.
Okay, and hold on. So Michelle, the apps that Lauren has tried it's Get Followers and Follow Me. Okay. Last but not least, making connections. So, now we are learning all about gaining followers and how to use hashtags and all this good stuff. But at the end of the day, what we really want to do is make connections and build relationships and really, make it so that people realize we have solutions for them, we can help them, we want them to join us. So here's a couple things that have worked for me. I have made some really great connections on Instagram. Probably the biggest success I've had in converting cold leads into a relationship is with my free groups. So when I sponsor an ad on Facebook, it actually goes through to Instagram as well, and you get a ton of likes. Like, it's insane. I get more likes on Instagram than I do on Facebook through the ad. And what I do then is, and this isn't totally on here, but what I do, every single one of those likes, I write down like the handle, and I go through and I look at their profile. And yes, it takes some time, but to me, it's time that's well worth it, because these are new connections. And I see like, oh, that's a real profile, someone that I feel like we could kind of vibe well with. And I reach out to them and I say, hey, I noticed you like my post about my free group, my yoga group. I would love for you to join. Like, what do you think? Are you still up for it? Just a really natural connection. And a lot of people get back to you, and then you let them know like, oh, I'm running it on Facebook. Let's connect there. So that's sort of one way that you can make a connection through Instagram. The other way is now, like, whether people just like one of my, before I was doing it just for people who commented, but there aren't enough people who comment on Instagram. That's why it's an opportunity for us to stand out. But that's why, so even when people just like one of my posts, I'll reach out to them and I'll say, you know, hey, so-and-so, just wanted to thank you for the love on my post. The support means a lot. Are you into fitness as well? Love your feed. And they will get back to you. Like, people love the direct messages, and I get a lot of like, you know, people that write me back and they say, hey, no problem, or, you know, thanks, you really inspired me. Sometimes it's just a heart, like whatever, but regardless, it's a starting point, and it's a way that you can start to continue that conversation. And then another example is, again, if you're looking through all these hashtags, you don't have to just comment on their picture. Like, maybe you reach out to them privately and ask them a question. That dinner you posted looks amazing. Totally going to try it out. Do you have the recipe by chance? I think my family would love it. So again, just making real connections and contact with people. And I feel like it's way more normal to do that on Instagram than it is on Facebook. Like, think about it. If you reach out to someone that you've never talked before, never knew before on Facebook, asking about their dinner recipe, they'd probably be like, but on Instagram, it's not that way. That's what this community is built upon. It's about sharing the things that you're passionate about. So I really, you know, challenge everyone to kind of step outside of your comfort zone even more on Instagram and just connect with the communities that you're passionate about on there. And, you know, just start putting out your vibe and reaching out. I'm going to stop sharing for a second so I can see everybody. Yay! Does anyone have any questions? Was that helpful? Was it information overload?
No, I really like the information on the hashtags. So just to reiterate, because I want to make sure that I do it right, the ... thing, how do you do that again? You just like, because I when you were talking about it, I went on Lindsay's profile to see how she did it, and it was like ... like in that image. But do you just do like a period and return, period, return? No.
You can't do that in Instagram because it will return in Instagram is post.
Oh, right.
So you have to do it in, Lindsay does in notes, or I do it in Google Docs.
I wish I could.
Oh, gotcha. Gotcha.
See,
Okay.
so that's right in my notes, and you can see that.
Mm-hmm.
And like, it's important not to put a space after the dot. Like, literally dot enter, dot enter, dot enter, dot enter.
Okay.
Oh, and by the way, because I know I said I was going to go back into this, like, if you look at my bio on Instagram, you'll notice that I just do, I have like a bio that's kind of vertical. It's not like a paragraph sort of thing. I did that in my notes app as well. And it's the same sort of thing. You write your 2 words that you want, like, I'm forgetting even what mine says right now. So I'll do like, I wrote mom of twins +1, no space, mom of twins +1, enter. Happy wife, enter. Yoga and fitness, enter. Motivator and mentor, enter. Dream catcher. And then I posted that in my bio. Then I went back in and did the emojis, because emojis can mess things up too. Like, you're better with, like, at the end of a phrase. So you need to put the emojis in afterwards too. Does anyone have any other Instagram questions that are like outside of the realm of what we chat about? Or Meg was the connections one, did that make sense to you? Like, was that helpful?
Yeah, it did. And hearing what you said about like doing sponsored ads on Facebook, I definitely need to figure that out. That's been on my to-do list for a really long time now. So I'm excited to dive into that and then see how that plays into Instagram as well.
Yeah, when you go to your ads manager, it might even just be as long as your Facebook business profile is attached to your Instagram, it might
Yeah, I
even
just
happen
did that.
automatically.
Yeah, I just did that. I switched
Cool.
to the business thing, so I'm assuming that's why it just.
Yeah. And it's awesome. Like your mind is going to be blown. Like you'll open up your Instagram feed and it'll be like 50 likes and you're like, what? And it's not even a like on an actual picture. It's just that it's a like on the ad. So that's
Yeah.
why I write them down, because like it just, I get confused. But yeah, I hope that'll be helpful, because it's been good.
That's great.
Anybody else? Awesome.
One thing I wanted to mention, because Cody had a lot of like really good success on Instagram, like in connecting with people on Instagram too, and he was like really into doing it consistently. And he heard or read somewhere that Wednesdays after 7 p.m. are like it's the prime time during the week.
Okay. Thank you.
There's something to keep in mind.
Oh, also, Instagram stories.
Yes.
So Instagram, I still have to like dive more into it, but I feel like from what I'm reading about and understanding and what I've experienced, it feels like when you do an Instagram story, it's just more of a way to connect with people on a real level. Like just by giving them that little snippet of like live video, and it just gives you the opportunity to show more to people. And you don't have to worry so much about the photo quality. It's almost like your Instagram feed is like your highlight reel, like your cool artsy stuff. And Instagram story gives you that like authentic, like this is the real me type of thing. So I'd recommend using Instagram stories if you can. But I know that can be a lot. I'm not on Snapchat. Well, I am, but I don't use it. So I know it'll be a lot to be like on Snapchat, on Instagram stories. So obviously all of this is just, for all of you to take what you can from it.
Thanks, ladies. This was awesome.
Thank you. No problem. Thanks for being here. And Lauren, you rocked it. Thank you so much. Round of applause.
Thank you, Lindsay.
Yay. All right, guys. I hope everyone has a really great night. And I'll make sure to share the recording for anybody who missed it.
Awesome.
Bye, guys.
Bye.